There is a hotel in downtown Los Angeles. A hotel people pass every day without noticing, but inside that building, there is a floor that should not exist. The elevator says 13 floors. The fire exits say 13 floors, but sometimes, late at night, the elevator stops at 14, and behind one door, a room is always waiting. Room 1402, in use. Maya Chen arrived at the Crow Hotel just before midnight. The lobby felt wrong the moment she stepped inside. The air was heavy, silent, like the building had been waiting for her. The man behind the desk never looked surprised to see her. He slid an old brass key across the counter. Room 1202. Maya frowned. I booked room 804. The clerk smiled slowly. This room is better. On the key tag written in faded red ink were the words, "Do not lose this. You will not get another." She should have walked away, but she picked up the key. The elevator arrived instantly, as if it had been waiting for her specifically. Maya pressed 14. The numbers climbed. 2, 3, 4. Then suddenly, 14. The ride took only 4 seconds. That was impossible. The doors opened onto a hallway far longer than the building itself. The lights buzzed softly overhead. At the very end of the corridor, one door stood open. Room 1402, Maya pressed the lobby button repeatedly. The doors did not close. She hit the emergency call button. A voice answered. No words, only slow chewing sounds. Then silence. Maya looked into the scratched elevator mirror and froze behind her reflection. Someone was standing there, but when she turned around, no one was there. The room smelled like dust. Old newspapers, and something sweet underneath. Every wall was covered in photographs. All of them showed the same hallway outside the room, but the people inside the photos were different. A woman from the 1940s, a tourist from the 90s, a businessman from the 70s, and every single one of them was staring at room 1402. On the bed lay an old journal. The writing began normal, but slowly became frantic. One sentence was written again and again. Watched, the final entry read, "I think I've been here for years. The water tastes wrong. There is something inside the tank on the roof. I think it used to be me." Then Maya heard a voice. Every guest on this floor sees it. She turned around. The room was empty. The voice had come from her own mouth. When Maya stepped back into the hallway, she was no longer alone. Figures stood silently along both walls. Some wore old-fashioned clothing. Others looked modern, but none of them moved. And none of them blinked. They all stared toward one place. Room 1402. The hotel had been collecting guests for decades. One by one, Maya slowly raised her hand and saw the wallpaper through her fingers. She was beginning to fade. She had only been inside the hotel 11 minutes. The hotel did not trap people. It simply waited until they forgot how to leave. Maya found the rooftop door without knowing how. The city lights stretched endlessly below her. But the rooftop felt completely silent. Three giant water tanks stood beneath the moonlight. One hatch was open. She climbed the rusted ladder slowly. At the top, she looked down into the water. The surface reflected her perfectly. But beneath the reflection, another face stared back. Her face, it floated beneath the water. Eyes wide open, its mouth moved slowly. As if trying to warn her, Maya stumbled backward in terror. And for one horrifying second, yes, she knew, the hotel had already chosen how her story would end. At 5:49 in the morning, Maya stood once again inside the hotel lobby. The front desk was empty. The revolving door turned slowly on its own. Outside, the real world waited. Morning traffic, newspapers, pigeons, sunlight. Maya stepped toward the exit. 1 foot crossed the threshold. And suddenly, she couldn't remember which world was real, the hotel, or outside. The moment lasted only seconds. Then a taxi horn echoed through the street, and Maya finally stepped outside. She never looked back, but years later, she still remembered the face beneath the water, and finally understood what it had been trying to say. Do not check in. The Crow Hotel still exists. Hidden among hundreds of ordinary buildings, most guests leave in the morning, but the guests on the 14th floor never check out. They still stand in that endless hallway, growing more transparent every day, forgetting their names, forgetting the outside world. And somewhere inside the hotel, one room is always waiting, room 1402 in use.